Hi guys, basically today we're going to take a look at the different parts in the Planetshakers song You Are Good, and I guess before I start lesson proper, I should introduce the gear that I'm using today. And this is a 92 Gibson Les Paul Classic Plus. It's a plus because of the flame top that you can see here, and it's got Suhr Aldrich pickups inside that give you a very punchy kind of tone, really maybe more on the aggressive side, pretty hot pickups. And over here, inside here, I've got actually an RS Guitar Works vintage wiring kit, and the same goes for the switch, which is actually part of the kit. And basically it's wired up with 50s wiring style, and that makes the volume and the tone controls more interactive, and basically makes them more usable than on a guitar with non-50s wiring. And so straight from this guitar, I'm actually going straight into the Fractal Audio XFX2, and from here the sound's actually coming out through the two studio monitors that are behind. They're the ones that are in black, and next to these studio monitors there are actually two smaller computer speakers that basically that's where the original audio track is going to come out from. And other than the XFX2, I'm actually running the Fractal MIDI Foot Controller MFC 101. It's on the floor, but this song actually has no preset changes in it, so I don't really think I have to go through much about that. And the first thing about this song is really that it's in a slightly different tuning. It's in what we call drop D tuning. So for those of you who don't know what drop D tuning is, it's basically standard tuning, but with your 6th string, the lower string, tuned down to a D. So that's a whole step down. So if I can let you hear what that sounds like. So this is your 6th string. That's a D, A, D, G, B, and E. And here's how it reads. And that's basically the intro section of the song. And so the whole intro is actually based around a very simple riff. And I'm just going to show the riff to you now. So it's basically repeated throughout. That part. So the riff starts off on the open G string. So, okay, basically on the second time you do the riff, and when you end off, that cycle of a riff, you have to do a pinch harmonic at the end of it. So basically how you actually do this pinch harmonic is that you have to, after you play the note on the string, so you basically put your thumb slightly next to the pick like this, and right after you play the note, you kind of mute, okay, it's more of like a touch on the string. And so when you do a touch on the string there, and you get that screaming or pinch harmonic sound. So here it is again. And I guess for the right hand technique, you can either do alternate picking, or just downstrokes all the way. That's really up to your preference, but I like to use alternate picking. So now let's try with the original track as you can hear, this intro riff actually repeats throughout the song. So, not throughout the entire song, throughout the verse of the song, sorry. So throughout the verses of this song, you actually be playing the riff, the same riff, but I like to do it palm muted during the verse, so it's rather than having it being open strings. I mean non-palm muted. It kind of softens, the attack a little bit. So because after the intro, what the song goes to do is actually, there's a very strong vocal line. So the vocal line is actually be the main center, the main thing. So your guitar cannot be too loud or too. It cannot overpower the vocals basically. Yeah, and yeah, that's basically it for the intro and the verse. So that's pretty much the pre-chorus and the chorus of the song, and the interlude between the chorus and the second verse. So again, the pre-chorus goes something like this. Okay, so it starts off on a D, it's your normal D power chord, and then it goes down to a C, and then you go down to an F. So basically, because you're in drop D tuning, when you just fret these three strings, you actually get, sorry, it's slightly off tune, but you actually get an F, you get an F chord, and then you go up to the G. So again, it's and again, you can palm mute that part. Yeah, and from there going to the chorus is a bit similar to that. It starts off on a D again. The only difference, about the chorus is, I guess, because you're strumming more openly, and second thing is that there's an extra B, there's a B, yeah, in the middle of that, so it goes C, B, C. So again, it's pretty much the same as the pre-chorus, but you're throwing in that little B, C to B and B to C back again there. And again, the intro is repeated here, from going from the chorus to the second verse, and that's pretty much it. So let's run through that again. so basically that's the bridge of the song, and I'm just gonna show it to you again. It starts on D. So it's actually a pretty simple riff again. It starts on D, and then goes to the C, D, C, and then okay, there's this little bit of syncopation here that it's probably the trickiest part of this riff, but it's actually not really very hard, so let's just... So you're actually going from the F to the F sharp to the G. Yeah, and this basically repeats throughout the entire bridge. And as you build up in intensity, basically you start from just playing the octaves. And then you start the palm mute. And then we go to the highest part of the bridge, so that's without palm muting, we go open all the way. And for that part, you actually they don't play this part anymore. So just skip that section. Basically from here on, the song goes into a crazy bass and drum solo on the one album, and from there on it goes back into the bridge, which is basically the same again. And after the bridge, it will die down back into the chorus. So yeah, it's pretty much almost the entire song, and I'll show you the chorus parts in there. So that's basically the entire song, and I guess the only part that's different, about the last part when you go into the chorus again is when you're halfway through the chorus, you actually go back into singing the bridge lyrics. And for this part, there's actually a high D that's that's sounding throughout. So it's just let's see a D here, but you bring it up to above the 12th fret, and you fret the D string on the 12th fret. So yeah, and that's pretty much the entire song.